DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
It's time for Tuesday Night Live Chat with Brian S. Red and John Young. Good evening and welcome to our Tuesday night show where Brian and I will go and read from the wonderful book of... Crap, I forgot the book.
Yeah, where's that book at?
Dang
What's it called? Popular Mechanics.
Left foot, right foot, right. Oh, no. The foot book. No, the NAMM. Let's talk NAMM instead.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
We'll do something that we can handle. So you're headed out. You are ready to go. Bags are packed, and you're headed to Anaheim, California.
Yeah, I've got to be at the airport. I take off at 6, so I take off in 9 hours. My kid's sick, so she's not driving to the airport. I got to get a cab, which is, whatever, the good old days. So I should be at the airport a little before 5, and I'll be in Orange at about 10:30 in the morning.
Excellent.
So I have the day to myself. We'll go do some fun things with Andy, just some sightseeing and things before I go into NAMM mode.
And of course,
I'm looking forward to it though.
You'll be there for the big kickoff, which happens Thursday morning at 10 a.m. California time.
Yes, that's when the doors open.
And all of these press releases and all this information that is embargoed will be hitting our inboxes at that time while you're getting in there to check some things out.
I might go in for a sneak peek on Wednesday because I have an exhibitor's pass.
Ooh.
Yes. So I'm going to try to go in Wednesday for a while and hit some of our friends who are going to be there. Yes. I know that Johnny Dive, Adam Hall will be there. I'll be able to check out some of that stuff from LD. And also, obviously, Jay from Pioneer, who may even show up in this broadcast later on. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. He's busy setting right now. I know they do. Those guys, the crew, they're doing the sets at NAMM, so he might be tied up with that. But him and of course Pulse and all those guys over there are good guys, so I'll be able to probably get some exclusives from them, and I'm hoping to get some stuff uploaded tomorrow night before the show even starts.
Nice. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit is you've been asking questions on your Facebook page and what kind of things people are looking forward to seeing from this year's NAMM. After doing that for a few days, what kind of results are you getting? What are people excited to be finding out more about?
Well, I think it's funny because I made some posts about music too, but they, talking about I'm looking forward to going to NAMM because it's going to be great to be around people who love music.
All right, I saw that, yeah.
But they turn it, are you going to check out the new Denon? Are you going to check out the new Rain? Are you going to check out the new, Pioneer? They ask that in the post. Like, I don't care about the music. I want to know about the gear. So I think any kind of new fun toys, anything to make our lives easier, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And it's just kind of like I've said, what I get coverage of are the people who are easy for me to work with.
Sure.
So, John, thank you. You have set up a thing on Thursday with a couple, or Thursday. This is Tuesday.
This is Tuesday.
Yeah, I'd be late. It was Tuesday or really early, one or the other. But you've set up some appointments with me to check out some equipment on Thursday. So I'll be doing that. And then, of course, we've got people that I just know and I'm friends with that we're going to be able to get some video and product information from. And like I said, some of that stuff I might be able to actually get Wednesday.
I think there's going to be a few things that you'll be able to go get some sneak video and photo footage of on Wednesday. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, I've done it before where I've gotten the exclusives early on, and I've been asked not to upload until midnight. So if that's the case, midnight California time, which will be 10 o'clock our time.
No, it's the other way around. 2 o'clock. It'll be 2 a.m. our time.
Oh, 2 a.m. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's it gets to be really
Space
late.
time continuum.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, they'll be posted in the morning for you at any rate before the show opens. So, and I'm thinking maybe I can get some stuff. I don't know. Jay's usually pretty cool about that. The team over at Pioneer is usually pretty cool about that. If they've got something to show, then I'm going to be able to show it before probably anybody else. I'll get some exclusives on that stuff.
Excellent. Yeah, there's going to be a few things that are. There's not a ton so far that we were hearing about, but there's a few things that are completely different in some ways from anything we've seen before. I mean, one that Denon already has talked about is a DJ controller that has some higher end capabilities that's battery powered.
Yeah.
And that
I saw that.
That should be pretty cool and a big thing, and kind of fitting along. You've talked about that Maui 5 time and time again with that. It seems one of the new fixtures you guys are going to see a video on just a little bit after we're done with the show tonight from JMOZ is a full light system that is completely battery powered, not just one fixture, the full light show, battery powered.
Yeah.
So that area, I think you're going to see probably. We already know of a few fixtures or a few things that are going battery powered. Now, it'll be interesting as you're kind of walking the floor and seeing not only the major manufacturers, but you're seeing some of the knockoff places or the startups, what have you. What you're going to see.
Smaller guys.
Yeah, the smaller guys. The ones that brought us 5 or 6 years ago, they brought us the speaker with the LED in the code.
Yeah, I called that the swap meet.
Yeah,
that was pretty hot. I mean, I could see paying $39.95 for that all day.
Did we ever talk about that? Jeremy Lanby, one of the guys that does some things with us, he and his wife were on vacation in Central America, and every stop on their cruise, they would go into town, and in pretty much all these little shops, every one of them had some of those speakers, whether they were small or big, but they all had the Bluetooth and they had the LED rings going. He's like, everybody has them. That's the biggest seller down there because people would get off the ship and they were like, oh, these are cool. And they would buy these stupid things.
Yeah. We used to see them. Well, that's the kind of things you see at like the flea markets. We have a thing down here. It's called 7 Mile Fair. And it's just, it used to be a place where you would go and it would be like what do you want to call it? Like a swap meet or a flea market or whatever, like every weekend. But now it's kind of turned into this little electronic shop place to get rims for your car. It's but that's the kind of thing you see down there a lot. Little, all-in-one party systems. You can have a little party in your backyard.
Everybody becomes a DJ. Take that cell phone and off we go.
Yeah. It's that easy, kids. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be fabulous.
You got to start somewhere, though.
So one of the things I'm kind of interested to hear with your trip down there is there's going to be different controllers, and one of the things we've talked about numerous times is that mic preamp in the controllers. And now, not only with the new Denon ones, which you'll hopefully be able to get a chance to check, Jay has something he was alluding to, and we don't know what it is. If it's a controller, I would be, again, those questions are the ones that you're going to ask, those hard questions. Instead of saying, ooh, look at the wiki button, you're going to be looking at it from a mobile DJ and say, okay.
We're going to look at it from our practical point of view.
Exactly.
I don't need club tools. I need mobile tools.
Oh, is that a 47-inch screen on that controller? Yay, just what I needed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some great things that they've made there for the performance DJ and the club DJ, but I think they're starting to understand that, we are a force to be reckoned with. There's a lot of us out there. And it's something that I guess I've tried to make some noise about the last couple of years in a less than subtle fashion. And I'm just hoping that somebody listens because you think about it. I mean, how many nightclubs are in the U.S. versus how many mobile DJs are in the U.S.? And it seems like a lot of these companies, they just kind of make for the club market where they're not using the microphone too much. And it's more about kind of effect tools and things in your songs. And where us, I mean, geez, we need the fundamentals.
Yeah.
We need just good, solid microphones and not just one input too. And 3 band EQs on those mics and the correct impedance. that kind of stuff, and portability. Something that doesn't weigh 50 pounds would be nice.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the big disappointments is not that the controllers are hugely, I mean, they are weighty, but in order to protect a $2,000 investment, I have to put it in a case. And I want a case that's
weighed 30 pounds.
And now I'm up to 50, 60 pounds. It's like, oh yeah, to grab that, put that up on a table, yeah.
Right. So the thing that I'm keep my eye open for, whether it's anybody I know or not, if I'm walking past someplace and I see an item that is just different or unique, I'm getting video. I mean, I try to do it every year. I try to pick one thing that, unprejudiced thing that I just thought was cool. Whether I buy it or not, whether I use it or not, something that I see that I think is innovative and helpful. And I'll be keeping my eye open for that this year at all the booths that I visit. And, other people tell me things too. That's what's cool about NAMM. When you're walking through, you run into people and they'll say, "Oh my God, did you see so-and-so at this other booth?" No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in the back of the booth, they've got this new controller that's just a prototype. Oh, really? What does it do? It shoots pickles at people. It's the most incredible thing. You got to check it out.
It's amazing. And it's like that. It's like that. And you see this thing and then you go, but it's like that. Sometimes it's not like out front for everybody to see. Sometimes it's like this thing that's kind of like, we're thinking about it, or, not available, maybe May kind of thing. But you never know what you're going to see there. It's an exciting show. I love going to this show. It's different than any of the DJ only shows that we attend.
Yeah.
Or we produce. It's just different.
Certainly.
It's a different animal.
So a couple of things. Array speakers, you've done things. We both have done video on those. We've talked, we played, we've used. This year, if my information is correct, of course, we know about the new Electro Voice array speaker. That's been a kind of a leaked out thing. If you've got the app, you know what it's called. It's the 30M. The Evolve 30M. We can't talk about it. The video's been shot, but media, i.e. Brian, myself, and dealers, i.e. Ben Stowe, we can't talk about it. So it's there. There's others, though, that will be coming out this year at the show. PV, which had an array speaker last year. The speaker, there were some things that they had to work out, some bugs they had to work out. This year at this show, when you go to the room, they're actually going to be really pushing that array speaker because it is ready for purchase this year. Cool. And the PV one had some functionality and things that I thought would be very interesting for the mobile DJ. Is it better than Evolve? Is it not? I couldn't tell you. It just was an intriguing piece, as a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Mackie, I think if my information is correct, I think Mackie might be introducing one at this year's show. So that
it's get on board, folks, because this is the future.
So Mackie, I think, was going to be showing it at this show. I think LD Systems has a little tweak that they were going to be showing. FBT.
Yes, they do.
They're going to be having a little tweak in some arrays, so there's going to be a lot of different things for you to cover.
Yeah, and I know a lot of those people, so I'll be able to get the skinny, the good info, and maybe even something that maybe I don't know if I'm going to get anything exclusive, but I'll do my best. I may get some first, but I don't know if I'll get exclusives on some of this stuff.
And I think though your opinion and your view, because you're coming from the mobile side of it, there are a lot of club guys out there. Phil from Digital DJ Tips, he's going to be there and he's going to be doing his things, but Phil comes from a club world, so he's going to be speaking that language and he's going to be looking at things from that perspective, where we're coming at it from a little bit different perspective as a mobile, which doesn't speak to some of the club people, but that's okay.
Right.
There's different voices for this type of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, the European DJ in general is different from what we're doing in the US anyway. It's the priorities are different, and there's room for everybody, but I have different questions than Phil's going to have.
Yeah, exactly.
I know that. I mean, there are things that I want to know, or things that I need to know, or things I need to see in a product that are very different than what maybe Phil is looking for. Phil likes effects. I've seen that when I watch. He likes toys. He likes bells and whistles. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's like, get these bells and whistles out of my way. Show me the meat and potatoes. This is what's important to us.
Yeah.
Important to me anyway.
Oh, exactly. Well, I
that's
think
so presumptuous to me. Important to me.
yeah.
So
Well, I think
like
there's
the
a lot
product.
of people. Granted, there's more probably who are not like us, but the people who come and
I
like
don't
us and
think
follow
so.
us.
I think the majority of the market share out there is more like us. They just need stuff to work right. They want it. They want it easy, and they want it right.
And off they go. Yeah, it looks like
So we'll see what happens. What happened? We good?
I think we're good. I'm just seeing that I hadn't paid attention, and I don't know. Yeah, it looks like they must just the little channels that we're streaming to. The icon kind of pulses, and it's like, oh, is that wrong or is that right? But it looks like everything.
Facebook looks happy. All right, YouTube looks happy.
Yeah, everything's that must just be part of it. So
I haven't been able to really follow the chat because I'm just busy kind of trying to make eye contact with the camera and you. But
Day
it's flowing along.
Day mentions last year at NAMM there was a twisted trust.
Yes.
You covered that also.
I got a quick video of it. That was from Cosmic Trust.
Cosmic. I was going to say I thought it was Cosmic because they were over next to where the other trusting companies.
They were over by kind of near Chauvet.
Yeah, kind of in that area of that.
Yeah, that was Cosmic Trust. They
Chauvet,
had that.
and then you had ADJ and Elation was behind them.
So Day and Night DJs wants to see more about the Twisted Cosmic Trust. I'll tell you what, I'll go over there. If they got it there, I'll find somebody and I'll make them do 2 or 3 minutes on Twisted Cosmic Trust.
I think if our friends over at ProX, we're going to have some different trussing things also at the show here this year. So you'll have to stop and say hi to Gabriel.
Always very friendly over at ProX.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always just more than eager to share and take the time. And they're usually one of my first stops after the show floor opens.
Let's see. Howie is talking about some of the stuff.
Yeah.
He is talking smack. Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah, for those who are wondering when things are going to be dropping, there's some companies that are releasing information to the public tomorrow. Tomorrow being Wednesday. Thursday morning is when most of them have slated it for that 10 o'clock. If for those of you wondering, it's like, why you're sitting on the information, why can't you get it out ahead of that? Some of these companies are really, really particular about that's the moment. So that means that all of us as media sources have the information. We have it all lined up. And then 10 o'clock Thursday, your YouTube channel or your YouTube subscription area and all these things are going to just get killed because everybody's going to drop all the videos. Boom.
Well, I will ask this of anybody who's within earshot of this video. If John posts something or I post something or one of us really nice people who are trying to bring you some content post something, if you could do us the favor to share the crap out of this on social media, just post it in your groups, post it wherever you can, because the more views this stuff gets, the more we're going to be able to bring you stuff like this. Because the more exposure that our videos get, then these companies go, oh yeah, these are guys that we want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
It's helpful. So that would be really cool of you if you could share those links when you see them pop up, either on YouTube or Facebook.
Yeah,
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, certainly that's a big part of what we do is as a media source, creating the content for these companies. And if they can see that their video that we shot is getting some love, that's big.
They want to do stuff.
Huge.
And then they want to support us, and the more they support us, the more we can do for you. See how that works?
Yeah, it's kind of this cycle going on.
Help me help you. Come on, help me help you.
Scott mentions if there's going to be anything new from Hercules. Hercules actually kind of gone a slightly different direction from conversations with them here in the last year or so. Hercules is really aiming for that startup market, which they've always been that kind of way, but they really have gotten to the point now where they want to actually focus on teaching people how to become a DJ. And oh, by the way, and here's our controller that would fit into that realm. That's kind of the direction that their marketing team has put together as a focus. It'll be interesting to see if you can find the Hercules booth and such of how that is working or has changed. since our last conversation with them?
Well, I know Steve Sharp,
Mm-hmm.
and I see him every year at NAMM. That's really the only time I talk to him is at NAMM, but I know him. He's a nice guy, and he's always very eager to show us what he has. I think I got a Hercules video up last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, with NAMM videos, for me, the more the merrier. I may not get them all posted during NAMM. Some of them may trickle out after NAMM. But, yeah, in fact, I remember sitting at Morrow's on, like, Monday morning for several hours, uploading videos. And they were just one after the other. I don't know how many NAMM videos I posted. But
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to do them all during the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the really hot stuff, like the really, really hot stuff, I want to get out as quick as possible.
Right.
But, some of the other stuff, it's like, well, I want to get it posted, but it can wait. I don't have to get it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody might find this interesting next week. Although I will say that NAMM videos are the hottest during NAMM.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how many views my NAMM videos gets, a month or two down the road. I don't. Some get crazy views. I did one of the first English speaking videos on the RCF Evox 8.
Okay.
And I did it with no direction. I just went to the booth. I didn't know. Well, they were busy. I knew some people from RCF Italy, but most of the people I knew weren't there from the States. But I went there. It was with Brian Dowdle, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him like, Brian, let's do a video on this. You run the camera and I'll just talk.
Sure.
So I was guessing my way through it and kind of seeing how it packed into the bag and all that. And that video's got like a lot of views. I don't know how many, I don't want to say, but it's a lot of views. Like, I think close to 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that had legs, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them just nobody cares.
Yeah.
So
there's times
but
where
I don't care. I post them.
Mm-hmm.
I just get that content out there. Somebody cares because I watched the video, and that's what I want to do is just get as much content out as I can. But I want to make sure that I get the right stuff. And then, but if you're walking on the aisle and you see somebody and they're with a company and they're willing to shoot a video with you on a product they have, I'm willing to shoot it.
Sure.
I'm willing to take the time to do that because, although it may not have mass appeal, someone may like it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone may find it interesting.
And
It's not all about what I want or I like. Sometimes it's about what I think someone may find value in, even if it's not me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you never know when one of those videos will all of a sudden take off, and it's like I wouldn't have seen that one coming. And then
it's yeah,
and
that can happen too.
There's one.
But I mean, even if a dozen people see it and say, "Hey, I like that. I've done my job." That's okay. I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm. There's those times where then we take a video where we've gone through and we put all that time and effort and such into it, and it's like this is going to be great, and then it has like.
And nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. And you're like, yeah.
Then you don't care about the video. You just throw it up there, and all of a sudden, it's got 100,000 views.
Yeah. Like,
but I will be shooting all of my video on my phone, just like last year.
You're going to go phone this year.
I did it last year,
mm-hmm.
and it worked really well.
Audio. You were happy with the audio?
I was incredibly happy with the audio.
Good.
It seems like a phone, the way the microphone characteristics work on the phone, it's almost like a near field mic. So
mm-hmm.
the closer the sound is to the phone, the more prominent it's going to be, even in a loud room.
Nice.
So I was very impressed. If you go back and watch the JMAZ video from last year, Mike Sanchez, I'm following him around the booth with the phone.
Yep.
And it's pretty funny, really. I think it's a very funny video. And he's showing us some things, and he's playing the now how much would you pay kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I did it on the phone.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have known it. It's one take.
That was, and the audio was pretty good. I remember being able to hear his voice really well.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's
mm-hmm.
why, I was just so pleasantly surprised that this actually worked so well. I mean, when you try to bring the camera in, you got to have a backpack for it.
Yep.
And, I was doing shotgun mics and all this crap, and I'm like this, and my hand's getting shaky.
Yep.
The phone's like,
quick. Quick and easy.
Just be mindful not to put your thumb over the microphone and you're good.
Well, there is that.
There is that.
Done that a time or two.
But no, it's that's how I'm going to do it. Everything's going to be that way. So it's one take, and no editing at all, raw stuff. And then I have to go. I have to go back to my hotel room to upload this stuff because for some reason I have a hard time tagging and doing the things I got to do to videos on the phone.
Oh, sure.
I can upload from the phone, but then I have to actually go onto YouTube and tag it and title it and give it a category and you know,
all those,
give it a playlist or assign it to playlists and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And monetize. It doesn't automatically monetize just uploading over the phone. You got to go on the computer to make that happen.
Yeah. And that's the one year that we did a lot of uploading from the phone. I had one of my children at home log in like halfway through the day and then at the end of the day just to go through and check every video to make sure it was properly, you know, everything looked good. And because, you're trying to do things with your thumbs and it doesn't work as well. MJ, who's with us in the chat room tonight, he, like DJ Expo, he's gone to using his phone exclusively also. And it's worked really, really well with that. And we went and used cell phones at a couple of shows. The problem that we had is I tried to get fancy with some microphones and found out that one of my microphone configurations didn't work like I wanted it to.
Right. You get static.
Or you're picking up some, So it's one of those things, if a person is doing the cell phone, you just have to just invest to get the right stuff and not try to, if I do a splitter here and then I do a lapel here and then I do a Y here and then I can do this. Stupid.
You got to keep it simple. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, that would have.
You try to make it complicated, you're going to run into problems. It is what it is. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, when it comes to NAMM, it's more about just getting content up. It's not about making it flashy. It's just about getting it up and out there for people to see.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I don't mind doing it that way.
I think people appreciate that.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it in a big way. There's a lot of stuff to cover, but there's a lot of people that I'm looking forward to seeing. There's a lot of folks who have reached out, and I've already got, actually it's this way, just to give you an idea. There's already stuff being sent to the house that's going to arrive before I get home from companies we've never worked with.
Nice.
Who were just, really wanting to do something at the show and get involved with the channel. So real positive, and I just like seeing everybody anyway. It's like a family reunion, but not the DJ family. This is more like the other family, the cousins. I like these folks too, And these are cousins with money who can take you out to dinner and buy you steaks. So
yeah, that is true.
That's nice,
There was that one time that they took us out.
No, I got a barbecue on Saturday, and it's company only, but company only and me and bar, I think. And then there's I always do this thing. I try to do it every year. I think I skipped last year, but there's a place called Fire and Ice Garden Walk. That's what it's called, the Garden Walk.
Yeah.
And it's this kind of like the coolest Mongolian barbecue you ever saw. And I know it's a franchise. It's around the country, but there's nothing near here or Chicago. They have one in Anaheim, and I like to get a group together and kind of do a post-NAMM celebration at Fire and Ice. It's just something I like to do.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm going to be talking. Well, Owen and I are going to be doing some things there. Ape, got some stuff to talk about, got some stuff to look at, some relationships to forge. I am going to be doing a lot. There's a lot going on. I don't want to say a lot of stuff because, some stuff maybe is privileged, but I got stuff cooking.
Yeah.
Now, how it turns out once I pull it out of the oven, we'll see.
We'll see.
Cooking is good.
We'll see how things work for later. So
got a recipe. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be a good time. Gang, we're going to wrap things up a little early tonight. Have a little bit shorter show because, as you heard at the beginning of the show, Brian has to get himself ready to roll for tomorrow, and we want to keep it the NAMM kind of tight here for tonight. And then next, actually, what your travel schedule? When are you going to be coming back to the studio?
Actually, yeah, we're not going to do next week because I'm not going to get home until the show's over for Thursday or for
Okay.
Tuesday
Okay, so you'll be back. So we'll be taking then a
next
week
week.
off from the show, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, and then we'll be able to do some of the more kind of that recap conversation and such.
Yeah. Somebody's asking. I'll just take a couple of questions
Yeah,
here
there's yep.
if you don't mind.
No, yeah, let's, as if there's a few questions, and then we'll.
How do you, Brian, get into NAMM? Don't you usually have to be an authorized dealer? Actually, how do most DJs get into NAMM? This is follow up. Well, the way NAMM works is it's either the manufacturers of equipment or it's retailers, or you're a member of NAMM. So it's kind of an industry only show, but seeing how I have relationships with some of the companies that we work with, that's my in. So for years, it was just a DJ would just make sure that I had a badge and got in. And then sometimes it was FBT or RCF, or this year it's Adam Hall Group, or it could be Pioneer or Electro Voice.
Whoever, yeah.
Any of the companies that I work with, they like to have me at the show. They like to have video of the product at the show. So that's how I end up getting in. I think a lot of DJs actually get in through their retailer. So
Some do.
right. So let's say that somebody buys a lot of equipment from, I don't know, Canal Sound and Light, or IDJ Now, or 6-Star DJ, and they have a relationship with the retailer. They could go to the retailer and say, hey, I would like to go to NAMM. And you know what? We can make that happen for you. We can get you a NAMM badge. So that's how it works, usually. That's why these relationships are so good to forge. Something that somebody said to me, in fact, it was Dennis Falcone at SiriusXM, who is a mobile DJ, and he watches sometimes, I think. We were talking just about people we knew and such, and he said, in our business, it's a small world, and he's right. It really is. It's not like this big, huge industry. It's relatively small. So when you forge relationships and you get involved and you have, I guess, loyalty towards a retailer or whatever, you can make things like NAMM happen sometimes.
One of the things that has changed, at least as far as I know, because it used to be that this was the only way to get in. You can actually go now as a non-member, non-media, what have you. It's going to cost you $100 in advance, and then after January 6th, it's $150. So if somebody out there wanted to really go to NAMM, and you're in the area, $150, and you can get into NAMM, which is something that wasn't available at a period of time in the past, because people would have begged for that ability, and it wasn't there.
Well, the one thing that I will say about NAMM is, and I've gone over and seen, like remember the old, not the one that's happening now, but the old BPM show. There's a new BPM show, and it's different management, it's a different structure, the whole bit. I'm not even real familiar with it. I haven't been involved with that show. Nick Hahn goes to that one, he loves it. I went to the old BPM show several times for I don't know, probably 10 years straight. And what they would do at BPM, it was kind of like a cross between NAMM and DJ Expo.
Okay.
Because what they were doing there, not only were they trying to make deals with retailers, but they were also trying to service end users. And what I saw happening for some of the bigger companies, they weren't able to do either one of those things very well.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that makes sense to anybody here or not.
No, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're trying to do business with a retailer, you don't need Joe the DJ coming up and asking you about the jog wheel and a controller, because you're trying to make a big deal with this retailer. And you want some privacy. You don't need a bunch of DJs lounging around your tables and things that you have set up for your dealers. NAMM has I guess, traditionally been a very separate entity where it's primarily retailers and manufacturers
Yeah, because
getting together and making deals.
Yeah, for that very reason. They don't
want a lot of end users in there.
They want Ben Stowe there to say,
Right.
yes, I want to buy 100 of your Blinky Gizmo Bobbies, instead of, Joe Schmo DJ saying, so Gizmo Bobby, how will that look in my system?
Well, I'm not in the market for a controller, but one of these days, maybe I'll get around to it. I don't really like yours. I prefer like the one from Hercules, but I like the price, and they've been good to me. But yeah, I'll stand here and waste your time for 15 minutes if you don't mind.
And that
happens a lot at the end user shows. Part of the deal. That's DJ Expo. That's all the other shows, and it's okay. When the companies go there, they know what they're in for, and they have the retailers. Yeah, this is just. I don't want to confuse anybody, but like when you go to DJ Expo, like when you go to the ADJ booth, for instance, okay, for a few years now, they've had a retailer in that booth, and that retailer is Jeffrey from Canal Sound and Light.
Yep.
And so you can go to that booth and you can see the light that ADJ has, and you can say, I like that light, I'd like to buy it. And Jeffrey will be there representing ADJ saying, you know what, I can sell that to you. And he'll sell it to you right there. If he doesn't have it there, he'll ship it to you, and he'll do it at a blowout price. That's what the end user shows are. Whereas the NAMM show, the industry shows, those are the shows where Jeffrey is buying things from ADJ. He's not selling anything for ADJ at the show. He's buying things from them.
And he's learning about what these products and such are. And
right. I used the Scott voice. I was picking on you on that one. But no, the other thing is, I don't think they want a lot of fanboys at the show. And I don't mean that to sound derogatory, but just to give you an idea, Stevie Wonder's walking around the show. I mean, I see him at least twice every year. I've seen Weird Al Yankovic. I've seen Steven Tyler. I have seen Gene Simmons. I have seen, oh my gosh, I've seen the guys from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I've seen Bootsy Collins. There's a lot of metalheads walking around, and I don't know who they are because I'm not into metal, but my friends who are into rock are like, dude, he's from Slayer or whatever. And I don't know who they are, but I know who the other people are. Yeah, I mean, this is not your typical show. And when these folks come in, these celebrities come in, I saw Gary Sinise there. He actually is an actor, Lieutenant Day on Gary Sinise, but he's also in a band.
Okay.
And he's always been a musician, and he's a big supporter at NAMM, and he's always there. And he does a lot of work with the troops too. Everybody loves Gary Sinise, but they're not bothered. They can go and just chill.
And have that time too.
I was out back talking. You can go outside at NAMM and not exit NAMM, but you can kind of get some fresh air or whatever you might do outside that you can't do indoors. You can do that outside at NAMM. There's a little area you can do this in. I was out there talking to some friends, and Corey Feldman walked past me, and he's like this tall. I couldn't believe it. Here's my favorite one though, really. Can I tell some NAMM stories? Because I got NAMM stories.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're really cool. Let me just tell a couple NAMM stories.
You're the one who has to get up and go in the morning.
I don't. I was planning on going an hour. I got stuff. We're good. Don't worry about me. So, okay. I remember, I think it was my second NAMM, and I was at the QSC booth, and it was right when, I think it was the first year that they had the K12s.
Okay.
Or the K series. At any rate, and I was looking at him, and there was a voice behind me talking. And what do you think? I said, I don't know. I said, they look cool. It's like, yeah, they're pretty cool. I use them for smaller gigs, and they sound pretty good, and they're lightweight, and yeah, they're pretty nice. I'm like, oh, right on, man. I might have to check them out. It's like, yeah, I think they're decent speakers. It's pretty cool where this technology is going. I'm like, yeah. Well, you have a good day. And I'm like, yeah, you too. I turn around, and it's Kenny G. He's like walking away. I'm like, dude, Kenny G was just like talking to me, and I wasn't even making eye contact. But the coolest NAMM story. Here's my coolest NAMM story. It was my first NAMM. It was 2008, and nothing can top this. I went there. ADJ used to be in the arena.
Yep.
You know, all the lighting companies were in like one area. It was the same arena that like Elvis did a show in, one of his last shows. And Robert Marsh from IDJ Now comes up to me and he says, "Hey, dude, do you want to meet Quincy Jones?" I'm like, "Get out of here." It's like, yeah. He's doing a book signing over at Harmon.
Sure, okay.
Which was right next to the arena.
Yeah, just on the outside of the arena before the food. Mm-hmm.
He's like, "They're full up, but I know a guy. We can get in." I'm like, "Get out of here." He's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Well, okay. Well, how much is the book?" He said, "The book's on me. I'm buying the books." So we go there. He shakes hands with somebody. He knows somebody. And we get at the end of the line. And we're holding these big coffee table books, you know. And, you know, the line goes. And finally, it's our turn. And we're the last people there. And his people, I don't know if they're handlers or who they are, who kind of shoo him away when it's time to go away.
Mm-hmm.
They're there ready to go. And so Robert goes up, gets his book signed, shakes his hand, I take a picture. So, well, I'll go last, you know. So I'm like, I don't want to waste this guy's time. I appreciate it, you know, getting us in here last minute. I know he's got to go. I don't know what he's got to do, but he's got to go somewhere. So I go up and I put my book down and shake his hand, take a picture. He's signing the book. I said, "Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jones." And he says, "Well, hold on a minute." He says, "You support music education?" I had been like somewhere in NAMM like earlier that day, and there was some kind of music education in schools campaign going on. They were putting buttons on people.
Oh, okay.
I let him put a button on me, and I'd forgotten about it. So here's Quincy Jones looking at me. "You support music education?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, what do you do to support music education?" Like, "Well, I'm doing some videos on YouTube for DJs, and I'm talking about music and performance and just how to, you know, program sets." And he's like, "That is so cool, man. I'm so glad you're out there doing that. You need to talk to Clear Channel and tell them what's up. You need to tell them how to program music because I think they forgot." Like, yeah, I'm not real happy with the radio. It's like, "Oh, it fucking sucks, man." I'm like, "Ooh, cool. Yeah, it does." Quincy Jones and I are having a conversation about how much Clear Channel sucks for a few minutes. It was the coolest thing. It was just this natural conversation. He's such a conversationalist. He's the kind of guy that he wants to know about you. I mean, you can ask him questions, but he's genuinely interested in you and what you're up to. And I recently saw a documentary with him on Netflix. And he's like that with everybody. Like anybody he runs into, he wants to take the time and talk to them and ask them questions, and he remembers things about them. He's just a neat guy. So anyway, that was buzzy. That was like, wow, this is so cool, right? And then, you know, the show's over, whatever. I get on my flight to go home, and I miss my connecting flight in Phoenix. And you sports fans will know what was going on. I don't know if it was a Super Bowl or a pregame or what it was, but something big happened in Phoenix that year with sports.
Sure.
And I couldn't get a flight out for 2 days.
Oh, goodness.
Because of this big football thing. And I don't know what it was. It was a playoff game, or if it was, I don't know, if it was the Super Bowl or just a playoff game. So anyway, I call my sister who lives in Phoenix. She picks me up. I go to her house, right? And I stay the night. She goes to work the next day. So it's me and whatever I have to upload for videos I didn't upload from NAMM and the TV set. And it was the day that Barack Obama was inaugurated into the White House. Okay. That's all that was on TV. First black president. Everybody's losing their minds. And who do they talk to? Every single network. Quincy Jones. He was in the front row. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God. 3 days ago, I was talking to this guy about how much Clear Channel sucks. We were just talking. And now the world's watching this guy, and the world wants to know what he thinks about this. That was one of the most surreal experiences I think I've ever had. Just to know this guy was cool enough. He's that important that everybody wants to talk to him. But yet he was cool enough just to take the time to ask me some questions about me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That meant something. That really meant something. That was inspiring.
Yeah, that was really neat.
So there's a NAMM story for you.
And of course that adds this really cool thing called, the levels of separation from Kevin Bacon type of a situation.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Right.
So now we have the connection there with Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones was right in front of probably President Obama so you were,
1 degree.
1 degree from the president of the United States.
1 degree from the president. Absolutely.
That's pretty impressive, Brian.
And if you know me, you're only 2 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. But not one. But I mean, that's pretty cool. All right, gang, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. Again, next week we will not have our regular Tuesday night show like we do, and we'll be back the week after as Brian is going to be traveling. Brian, safe travels, my friend, and I'm looking forward to your thoughts on a lot of the new gear coming out at this year's show.
Well, thank you for all of your support, and thank you for the hookups at the show. I'm sorry you can't join us, but next year, make it happen.
Have some fun with that. So everyone, have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow night. Good night, bud.